Hello, it's Hillary with HHJ Consulting. I wanted to do a quick video about paying yourself. So I have a lot of chiropractors who are my coaching clients, and this is like a topic that we talk about quite often. So for anyone thinking, I don't know how much I should be paying myself or how much I should be saving for business expenses, I wanted just to go over briefly. I like to go in detail with my clients and really look at everything line by line. But let's just do an overview of like, if you're thinking to yourself, how much can I afford to pay myself? How much should I pay myself? Should I pay myself in payroll versus draws or distributions? The first thing I like to start with is looking at like your total expenses for you personally. I have like budgeting worksheets, and if you want them, reach out to me. I'd be happy to send you those. But we kind of look over like, what do you need per month to make your living, like without having to charge things on credit card, etc. How much is that per month? And you might want to look at like 3 months rolling and then divide by 3 in case you feel like you have other expenses that creep up not every single month. So make sure in that you are paying off your personal credit card. So you want to pay enough to literally pay for everything. If you have some credit cards that are built up, that's like a different topic of like how we're going to like kind of chip away at those. But try to get off all of your personal credit cards paid off. I'm a big fan of that. And then every month I pay off my credit card in full. So once you have this magical number of how much you need to live off, let's just say you need $4,000 a month to live off on. You are going to do a payroll for yourself for that. So it also depends on how like your corporation is set up in your business, and also if you're working full-time or part-time. And that's why I would talk to someone on like a separate individual basis about this. But let's just say I work full-time at my chiropractic office. I need $4,000 to live off on. I would then do a payroll with all my other staff, equal amount to 4,000 per month, right? So keep in mind that when you do a payroll for 4,000 a month, you actually are getting less because of all the taxes. So again, figure out what you really need to pay, what you need per month. A lot of people, like myself, that have like an LLC and S corps, or taxed as an S corp, we like to do distributions or draws. So if you're not doing that, that's something to chat about is how could you be saving some money on taxes? So with distributions or draws, we're still paying taxes on it, but not all of like the extra payroll type taxes. Okay. So at that point, we just determined how much I need to live off, how much we make in the business per month, and then how much extra I could, if the business did well, pay myself in a distribution or draw. So if that sounds confusing, this is why I do it like one-on-one with people. And then also, do you need to personally plan for any big upcoming purchases? So if I said I need 4,000 to live off per month, I've got no credit cards, but I also know upcoming I'm going to take a trip that's going to require $2,000. Make sure that you are like adding that into like the overall how much you're going to need to live off per month. Another question that gets asked quite frequently is how much should I save for business in my business accounts, right? Some of us, we pull from our business account when we need to pay for things personally, but I like to have everything like cut and dry, black and white, and I know how much is going to be allocated every month for individual things. So there's a lot of different rules of thought, but let's just start simple. Simply, let's say you're going to save in your business account or your business savings or however you want to do it, 3 months of payroll. So not 3 months of everything as far as expenses, but a good way to start is just 3 months of payroll for you and your staff. Like heaven forbid something drastic happen, you could cover payroll, right? Then you might think to yourself, well, what if I need money for rent? Yep, there's other ways that you can get money for other expenditures in cases of emergency. For instance, like having like a line of credit at the bank that you only use for emergencies, or you use a credit card for emergencies, that type of thing. So when you start saving for 3 months of payroll, as far as for business, don't get yourself locked into a situation where you're not able to pay off your business credit card. I still am a big fan of paying off your credit cards in full every month. So once that's just happening on a regular basis, now you're saving, you're setting aside 3 months of payroll. And that would be a good chunk just to sit aside. So I don't know, let's just say it's $15,000. That's sitting either on the side or in an account or a different bank account that you can't access. And again, just for emergency payroll. I like to have them like categorized separately. I label them separately, and I also have them in different banks themselves. And I have some in banks that I don't have access to online banking. That way I specifically can't pull from it. So a lot of different things that you can do. I used a lot of this information I got from the book Profit First, which I love, and I love talking about and teaching my clients about that. So if you, as far as business expenses, you've got the 3 months payroll, your credit cards are always paid off, but you do know, let's say that you're going to need a big piece of equipment coming up in the next year or so, or this year, then you might want to have setting aside like a percentage also that you're setting for the big purchase or the equipment purchase, something like that. And so that's why I like to have like separate accounts, separately labeled, and sometimes in separate banks. That way I can know like, oh, I need to buy a piece of equipment that's $50,000. So I personally like to, especially depending on the percentage of interest, I might want to just pay it in full and not get a loan for it or not put it on a credit card or etc. So if I could save up a percentage like every month of my revenue for the business and then have this in an account, and then once I hit that 50,000 to buy that piece of equipment, I can just pay for it in full. So a lot of different ways to look at it. I think there's not one wrong way to do everything, as long as you have a way and it's working and you're not getting in trouble. I say go for it. But if you are someone that doesn't know where to start, you don't know where you need to start paying yourself or saving for business expenses, or you don't know what you're doing with the large chunk of money in your business account, I can help you like categorize, allocate percentages, get everything set up so you know exactly what you're doing. And then perhaps you could be paying yourself more. You just don't know that. So I can comb through your credit cards with you and see what are some expenditures that you don't need to do, or heck, another big thing, make sure that your personal and your business expenses are separate on separate credit cards. Like just make sure everything's neat and tidy. And so besides just general business coaching, I do all these individual and personal coaching with expenses too. Hope this helped. Feel free to reach out to me for any questions. And I do have budgeting worksheets that are mainly for the personal side, but I've also used them for my business side too. If you want them, just reach out to me. Happy to help.